Hello and good evening, you guys. Today it is Sunday, August 9th, 2020. And as I said I would do, this is yet another weekly roundup video. This one will be dubbed as a Rockzilla's bi-weekly roundup video. But I did say last weekend that as part of the Rockzilla 94 5-year anniversary celebration weekend, that I would throw in a bonus weekly roundup video and give you guys 3 consecutive weeks of weekly roundup videos. So on that note, you guys, there is one thing I do want to say. After this video today, I will not be doing a weekly roundup video for another 2 weeks. I am planning on sticking with the bi-weekly format for at least 6 to 8 more weeks. That's my plan. I've given it some thought. That's what I'm going to do. So, as I've been saying a little bit recently, I think it was a couple of weeks ago when I did my last bi-weekly roundup video, I did say that what I was planning on doing is I was planning on having a wait and see type of approach, see how these leagues are going with their restarting plans, and see how long they can go without having issues as a result of COVID-19. So far, the NHL and the NBA have been doing well, which is good. So far, there have been some hiccups with Major League Soccer, but I know their MLS's back tournament has been relatively successful for the most part, which is great. PGA Golf has been continuing to operate, which is great as well. Also, Major League Baseball, there has been quite a few hiccups in Major League Baseball, but they are still managing to play out games, which is really good. Hopefully, we will start to see Major League Baseball turn around and somehow find a way to get through the season. The shortened 60-game season, I hope that they can pull it off. If they can't, obviously they can't. I still think that, as I said on Friday, they should have had 2 hubs for each, one for each league. That's what I think, and I think it's a bit of a bummer that that's not the case. I think that going from city to city is a big mistake, and hopefully Major League Baseball will prove me wrong. So there is something that I was going to say, though, in terms of the entire sports situation, with the weekly roundup situation. I apologize for having the one that I said I'd have last week not filmed until 2 days ago. Unfortunately, there was some stuff that came up, and there was other stuff that I was trying to get done in terms of the channel in order to make sure that I had that stuff taken care of. Then I had some stuff come up on top of that, and then, of course, I realized a couple of days ago it's Friday, and I was like, even though this is only 5 days late, I might as well spend 10 to 15 minutes here while I'm out, quickly film a video, go home and upload it, and then whatever. I apologize for that, but I'd rather have one made for those of you wanting to watch it and listen to it than have nothing at all. So, and on top of that, though, the other thing is I did say that I would have 3 consecutive weeks in a row with roundup videos. I said it, and I intended to deliver. I intend to also deliver by making sure this video gets done today. So, once again, 2 weeks from now will be the next roundup video. I am going back to the bi-weekly format as soon as this video is done and uploaded. And basically what will end up happening is I will wait and continue to do the bi-weekly format for at least another 6 to 8 weeks. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think I'm going to do mid-September anymore for a return to the weekly roundup format. I think I might delay it a little bit. Actually, let me just check my calendar. 1 second. Okay, so let's see. So today is the 9th. 2 weeks from now is the 23rd. 2 weeks from after that is September 6th. And then another 2 weeks from that is September 20th. So basically I'm thinking that September 20th at the earliest will be the last time I do a bi-weekly roundup video, and then the 27th at the earliest will be the start of the return to the weekly format. So we'll see what happens. I mean, one thing about these roundup videos is that they do guarantee when they're a weekly program, when it does go back to being a weekly program, it will be at least a guaranteed video for you guys every week. But right now I'm in that point where I'm gonna treat it as a wait and see approach, see how these leagues continue to operate under the current circumstances. I'm very happy with the NHL. I'm very happy seeing that most of the leagues seem to be doing okay, except baseball's been having some hiccups, which I hope they're on the verge of getting that fixed and taking care of that, but we'll see. So, yeah. And then with the NFL starting up next month, you know, they've got, I believe, 52 player rosters on game days. So with that many players, you know, it's going to be hard having them go from stadium to stadium across the U.S., but I think they fly their own private jets. In fact, I'm only 99.99996 whatever % sure that they have their own private jets. So as long as they stay in their little bubbles, hopefully the NFL can pull it off. I mean, right now with what's going on, the sports returning has been a major positive thing for society, in my opinion. I've honestly been a lot happier seeing the hockey come on, especially when so many things that you could normally do that we take for granted you can't do right now because of the virus. So, and the ongoing pandemic, of course. So this has been great, and I hope that they can keep this going. I hope the NHL can finish their season. And yeah, what else was I going to say? So in terms of this one, I do want to talk about the qualifier round. Chicago upset Edmonton. I'm honestly shocked that Chicago defeated Edmonton. I was expecting Edmonton because when the NHL shut down because of COVID-19, the Blackhawks were not that great. The Edmonton was starting to get a bit hot, if I remember correctly. So then COVID happened, and they come back to play. I think Chicago had the season series advantage, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, still, I was expecting Edmonton to defeat Chicago. And I'm really surprised that Chicago defeated Edmonton. Now, speaking of surprises, I'm also very surprised that Pittsburgh lost to Montreal. I don't know what's going on there with Crosby and Malkin, but when I look at the Penguins, I see a team with elite skill. When I look at Montreal, I see a team that's still kind of trying to find their way. I see a team that's still trying to get some star power and trying to, I don't know how to word it, but with Montreal, I know that for the longest time, they haven't been that great of a team. And seeing them defeat Pittsburgh with the star power that the Penguins have compared to Montreal, I was really surprised. So who knows what happens there with Pittsburgh. But, you know, I will say this, though. Imagine if Pittsburgh got Alexis Lafreniere. Would that not be something or what? Crosby, Malkin, Gensel, Rust, Lafreniere. You know, that is basically, in my opinion, Pittsburgh would become a bit of a dream team at that point. I would be super shocked if the Penguins did not win another Stanley Cup during Malkin and Crosby's incredible careers already, if they could not win a cup with Alexis Lafreniere. So keep an eye on that. And speaking of that, the draft lottery for the #1 overall pick does happen tomorrow. So that's going to be interesting. So, you know, imagine if Pittsburgh or Edmonton, there is an and, or Edmonton got Lafreniere. That would be incredible, in my opinion. You've also got, I have a feeling that the team that gets the first overall pick is Minnesota. I think Minnesota is due for something big to happen for their franchise. A franchise player. I think it's Minnesota's time. Minnesota has been not the greatest of teams for a while. I do think that if they had Alexis Lafreniere, I do think that that team would really start to maybe become a threat in the Western Conference. That's what I believe. You don't have to agree. I don't expect people to, but I do think that if Minnesota had a star power player like Alexis Lafreniere, that team would be a whole lot more legitimate overnight. That's for sure. I think anybody whoever gets Lafreniere is going to be laughing. Kind of a coincidental pun with his name being Lafreniere. Laugh. Yeah. So let's see. Who is in the Lafreniere sweepstakes? We've got Edmonton. We've got Minnesota. We've got Pittsburgh. We've also got Winnipeg. Hey, I'd love to see Lafreniere go to Winnipeg. That'd be cool too. So in the West, there's Minnesota, there's Winnipeg, there is Edmonton, and who else? I'm just having a brain fart here. Nashville. So Nashville, Winnipeg, Edmonton, and Minnesota for the West. And in the East, Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh. The New York Rangers, with the way they got swept by Carolina, I think they could definitely use Alexis Lafreniere's services real quick, in my opinion. So you've got the Rangers, you've got the Rangers in the East. You've also got, I just said them, come on. You got Pittsburgh, you've got the Rangers, you've got the loser of Columbus and Toronto tonight, and you've also got, oh my goodness, I'm just having trouble remembering here. Damn. There's another one. There is another one. I'm having a fail here. My apologies. But yeah, so in the East, you've got the Rangers, you've got Pittsburgh. I know who the other team is. It's Florida. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, Pittsburgh, the Rangers, Florida, and the loser of Columbus and Toronto competing for that in the lottery for a chance at the first overall pick. So if Toronto loses tonight, I do think that it would be incredible if they got Lafreniere too. Another #1 pick for Toronto. They might actually be a team that can finally get out of the first round for a change. And as somebody wanting to see a Canadian team finally win the Stanley Cup for the first time in my lifetime, that would be great. So Edmonton or Toronto getting Lafreniere, or Winnipeg, that would make me very happy. And I would prefer if one of the Canadian teams got Lafreniere, I'm not going to lie. But I will say this, though. I think that my prediction is that Minnesota gets the first overall pick. The Wild have been in the NHL for 20 years, and I think it's time for them to have a franchise player as a result of the first overall pick. I think their time has come. I obviously only have a 1 in 8 chance in being right, but I do have a feeling. My prediction is that Minnesota wins the first overall pick. And if Pittsburgh or Edmonton get it, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be happy for them, but I'm going to have a big laugh. That's going to be funny, seeing that those two teams that have some, especially Pittsburgh, if they get Lafreniere, I'm gonna look and I'm gonna laugh. That's gonna be hilarious to see this star-powered elite team pick up another potential superstar with the first overall pick. I gotta admit, that would be amazing to see Pittsburgh with Crosby and Malkin and Alexis Lafreniere. That would be pretty cool. But I am rooting for all three of the... Well, hopefully Toronto wins tonight. I'm hoping for Toronto to move on. But if they don't, I am rooting for them. I'm rooting for Winnipeg, and I'm also certainly rooting for Edmonton to win the Lafreniere sweepstakes. I want to see a Canadian team win the Stanley Cup in my lifetime. Thank you very much. I mean, I know that these American teams are stocked full of Canadian players, of course, but I'd like to see a team that plays here in Canada win the Cup for a change. It's long overdue. Let's see. It's almost been, only 30 years. Wow. It's only been 27 years since the Montreal Canadiens were the last Canadian team to lift the Stanley Cup. Not a big deal at all, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. P.S. I'm full of sarcasm, obviously, but I really do want to see a Canadian team win the Cup. That's the summary of all that blah, 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 that I've been talking about. If somebody's getting the first overall pick, please be one of the Canadian teams that are in the sweepstakes. And if not, it would be really funny if Pittsburgh got the first overall pick. I'd love to see all the reactions from everybody if Pittsburgh got the first overall pick. But my prediction is Minnesota finally gets a potential superstar in the draft. I think this is their time for a franchise player. I think something big is about to happen in Minnesota on that front. But of course, I could be wrong. I mean, we could all be talking about how wrong I was, which is probably the case. But hey, let's be honest here. I do think that I do think it would be pretty good for Minnesota if they finally got the first overall pick. I mean, it's been years since they've had a pick that high. And I think Minnesota's due for something big in terms of a potential franchise player. I mean, obviously, I know they got Zach Parise. I'm not calling him Parise. Parise sounds better, in my opinion, and obviously I'm biased. And, I know they got Parise, and I think they have Ryan Suter as well still, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, those guys for the Wild have had some moments in the playoffs in recent years, but in the past few years, they haven't been that great. And I was not shocked that Vancouver defeated Minnesota in the qualifier round, in my opinion, because Vancouver, even though Vancouver is still a team with a lot of growing up to do in terms of playoff experience and their young core getting better and more experienced and becoming veteran players, Vancouver has more skill than Minnesota has. Their offense is better. You look at guys like Pettersson, you look at Horvat, you look at, who's the other one I'm trying to think of? Oh my God, I'm having another brain fart here. But yeah, you look at guys like Horvat, you look at Pettersson, and Brock Besser, you look at those guys. Even those three alone provide way more offense for Vancouver. With Minnesota, they're more of a defensive team, but they don't really have that offensive ability, in my opinion. Maybe I'm missing something, but when I look at offensive capability, I expected Vancouver to win the series, and I was right. I was telling everybody I know that I talk about hockey with, I said to them, Vancouver's winning this series. If Minnesota wins, then in my opinion, something's gone seriously wrong. Vancouver should have no problem. And Jacob Markstrom's been really good in goal for Vancouver. Markstrom's become a pretty good goalie. So, if you're a Canucks fan, right now that team, in my opinion, is starting to move in the right direction. But I can't stand that Orca logo. And I do not like their home jersey. It is better than the version before. It is a bit upgraded, but I still think it's time for the Canucks to either go back to the skate with the orangier red and the mustardier or whatever hue of yellow they used to have in the early 1990s. I'm talking 1990, 1991. Or they need to go back to the original stick and rink white jersey with a new blue jersey that has the same striping style, or they need to do something new with Johnny Canuck. I'm tired of the Orca. I'm tired of the Orca, but I will say this, their away jersey is a very nice look. I love the amount of green on it, but it's time for something new in Vancouver, and I'm still disappointed that the Canucks think that the Orca is the best logo for them to stick with. It's not. It does not even look like it fits their jerseys. Small rant on my end, but I'm just saying I'm not a fan. Also, Arizona's throwbacks, are they an upgrade over their main jerseys? Yes, that's how I feel. But when you look at their black jerseys from a distance, that shoulder yoke, you can't even see it. That's what I've been saying to people. That's what I've been saying on here. The jersey looks great up close, but from a distance, you can't see the damn thing. You can't see the shoulder yoke. I mean, this is why I've been saying I want to see the Coyotes get new uniforms that use the Kachina striping. I don't really want to see them go throwback, personally. I mean, they likely are going full-time throwback again, which full-time Kachina, which personally I think that'll be an upgrade. I think it's great that Arizona's embracing having a unique uniform style again. I think that's terrific, but going throwback in this case is not the direction I would personally go. And another thing I'm going to throw in here, I actually believe that Arizona is a team that could wear purple really well. And I don't think you would hear that anywhere else here in the world of YouTube. I just don't. But anyway, I've been talking for 22 minutes. At this point, I'm going to wrap up this video. My phone is getting a little bit low on battery juice. I know that. So good timing to wrap this up. I thought I'd make sure I did 3 straight weeks of roundups, even though the other one was only made 2 days ago. Hopefully we can just brush that one under the carpet. I'm sorry for being only 5 days late. Sarcasm, of course. But yeah, I'll call it a wrap. But actually, there is one more thing. If you did see my Facebook monthly update video that I did upload, was it Friday? I think it was. Truth is, you guys, I'm at a little bit of a point right now where I'm kind of starting to feel like maybe it's time for me to cut back on some of the other side things that I've been doing in terms of videos. Now, am I getting rid of the weekly roundups? I'm not getting rid of them anytime soon. Right now, though, I've been kind of starting to notice when I look at recent videos more that there's not a whole lot of jersey-related videos. And I'm still making them, but I've noticed that the channel's been kind of steering in a bit of a different direction than what I had before. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of soul searching on what I want to do moving forward. Will I continue to talk about jerseys, logos, and uniforms? Absolutely, of course. That's not changing. But what could be changing in the near future, I haven't made up my mind, even though I think the status quo is probably fine and dandy. But the thing is I've been kind of becoming more of another news-based type channel, and I don't really know if that's the way to go. So I got a bit of decision-making to do on my end, but I do intend to find a decision that I feel is right sooner rather than later. But anyways, if you guys have any comments or suggestions on that front, feel free to comment and send them my way, because you know what? I like listening to your feedback, and remember, I want you guys to know this as well. Your feedback is why the channel's name is now Rockzilla instead of something entirely new, just so you know. And I appreciated all the feedback that I got, by the way. But anyways, folks, I think this is plenty long enough for this week's video. Well, the second roundup video in, what, 2 days or 3 days, whatever. My bad on that one. But I will be back in 2 weeks when the weekly roundup program goes back to the bi-weekly format. So until then, and of course until my next video, whatever it will be, I do want to do at least 1 or 2 XFL videos coming up. Okay, maybe 3. I don't know. I'll make up my mind on that too. All right. Until my next video, take care, and of course, as usual, folks, bye for now, and I hope you enjoyed this week's this second roundup video this week. I hope it was worth your time, and this time it's a wrap. Take care, and as always, bye for now.